guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
An FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertainers. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertainers.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Lords of War Daily News Brief. I'm Rob. I'm your only host right now because it seems that we can't run a professional outfit. Well, I guess there's a lot in the news to talk about today. I guess I'm going to try to have to handle this myself. Not that I want to. If you guys could repost the stream, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stand up. Yeah, no. I am not wearing pants. I will definitely get the stream shut down. without a doubt. But oh, look, it looks like somebody's in here. He says 5 minutes. All right. Well, yeah, I got you. Oh shit, it's Reno. You coming up? You good? He's like, no, fuck you. Oh, all right. I'm gonna bring Reno in. Reno, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? So we're doing a daily news brief there, homie.
Oh, okay. We do that here?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're supposed to do it on time, but you know, this is the head of our HR department, ladies and gentlemen. It's Reno.
Hey guys. I'm gonna need you to start using the correct TPS forms, or I'm gonna have to move you to the basement.
So I just decided to, do some research into what's going on news-wise, and I'm waiting for Rafty to get in here to. I want to get his opinion on this one before I.
Well, he was texting, so I'm sure he.
Yeah, I know. I see him. He's there. Well, before I get into the one thing I want to talk about, so I guess the UN is reporting that Israel's actions are exacerbating starvation in Gaza, with dozens killed while awaiting food aid despite assurances of humanitarian pauses. New images of emaciated Israeli hostages held by Hamas have intensified pressure on Israel leadership for a ceasefire.
Yeah, they had some kind of. There was saw a report with that some Green Beret guy that went over there and was helping a retired colonel was helping with them and left because of what he
helping
saw.
With Hamas or helping with Israel?
Helping with the humanitarian relief, and then left because of what he saw.
Look, you know what? I don't want to see kids hurt. But here's the thing. This is a theater of war. All right. Hamas started this shit on October 7th. They still have Israeli hostages. They're starving them. They're beating them. They're raping the women. This is a fact. This is not even up for debate. As far as I'm concerned, if you did that to my people, I would do 10 times worse to your people. Because the people in Gaza are hiding Hamas. They have voted in Hamas. They have given them shelter. If they really, truly wanted help, they would get Hamas out.
I don't think it's so
There's
much
more
of-
people. There's
I
more
don't think
people
it's so much
complicit.
of the Israeli people, brother. I think it's more of the IDF thing. I don't like this.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
I see going on. It's
Listen, I think that I think the Israeli government is nefarious and they suck. I'll be the first one to say it. But at the same time, I have less love for Islam and Islamic terrorists than I do for the Israeli government.
Oh, well, you've heard me say over and over and over again, Rob, that I just want both sides to have fun. But I mean, but I don't like seeing kids starving, and I don't like.
Yep, and I don't like to see 12 and 13-year-old girls being kidnapped and raped by Dunkuns.
Yeah, so both sides of the argument here, and I'm going to echo Reno. I don't really care what happens over there, and like I don't like people also playing the violins, because some people are genuinely concerned about like the kids and stuff like that. But the problem lies in like using it as a war prop, and
yep.
Unfortunately it is a war zone, and unfortunately in war there are casualties. And if you take the Tario method, this would have been over a long time ago, because
you would have just blown them all.
The current resident, I would have listened. If I was the Israeli government, right, I wouldn't blow them. I'd sorry. Bad choice of words.
Ladies and gentlemen, he tried to stay serious. I saw the break as soon as I said it, and he's like, "No, I'm not even going to take the bait," and he couldn't do it because he's got a 15-year-old's brain. That's why.
Couldn't do it. Yeah. It's like fart jokes, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Lowest
So
hanging fruit,
I would have, and it wouldn't have been now. I would have done this a long time ago.
Yeah.
I would have just expelled everybody from that region, right? And giving them, like, why isn't Egypt taking them? Why isn't the Qatari government taking it? Why taking them in? Why isn't why aren't the Yemens taking them? You know, I would have just cleared it out. I would have,
Because nobody wants them. Their own people don't want them.
yeah. So I would
What
have
does that
made
tell
that.
you?
I would have made that part of Israel, and I would have put like fucking beach condos there. You know, it would have, and as
Beachfront
mean
property
as
for the top 1% in the world. Yeah.
as mean as that sounds, that's war. That's
Yeah.
war.
I'm not
dude.
going to cry about
And
the
we
Native
wouldn't have the
Americans
problem with Gaza. We wouldn't have the
that
problem
really weren't
with,
native.
you know, on the eastern front. Like, we wouldn't have that problem. The problems would come from Lebanon, Iran, Iraq. You know, those are the problems that, like, I would want to have. I wouldn't want to have problems right in my backyard. I would have cleared it out, and then there wouldn't be those casualties. You know, and like, half measures is causing those children to go through what they're going through. You know, unfortunately, I'm not rooting for either team here, but like, I'm just like, what is the solution? Well, the Israeli military is 10,000 times more powerful than anything that Hamas can put together. So just use it to cause peace, to bring peace.
Yeah, but don't you think if they actually did go in and do that, the UN would have a fucking problem with it? And that's probably why they're
fine.
not doing it.
That's
Yeah.
when has anybody
I'm-
really
I-
ever
look-
cared about the UN?
I
You
know.
know,
right?
the US hasn't really give a fuck about the UN. Did we care when we went into Iraq? We didn't care.
Well, that's the
But-
problem, though, Rob, is that the UN is starting to notice now. The UN is there's been reports that have come out that said that, basically the IDF is, and I hate to sound like a leftist, I mean, but they're saying that the IDF is causing a genocide of the Palestinian people. I mean, that's
It's war.
not speculation. That's
war, though.
reports.
But I
I
don't
don't-
think
I don't care.
I don't think it's genocide. It's just one side versus another, and they just happen to be two different cultures, right? So, like, what we did in Iraq, by the same measure, what we did in Iraq would be a genocide. Is it right? Should we have ever entered Iraq? Absolutely not. But, you know, war is war, and it's ugly, and there's propaganda on both sides. There's obviously the Israelis have a major arm that deals with propaganda and things like that, and Hamas does the same thing. They put the videos out, which are horrible videos of the kids, you know what I'm saying, the children, and it's always the women and children, right? That's like and although it's true, it's being
these
used
same-
by a propaganda arm. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
saying?
like either
People-
side using. I don't like either side using women and children as
Yeah,
propaganda.
but you know what? You don't see the IDF grabbing women and using them as human shields like fucking Islam does, like the Muslims
Yeah,
do,
yeah, they don't have any
and strapping
rules.
bombs to their kids.
So here's where the issue lies. It's rules of engagement, and that's basically what I've been saying this entire time. It's rules of engagement. Like, the IDF, whether you like it or not, have some rules of engagement. Is it
Hamas
process? Hamas, they don't have those rules of engagement. They could chop off a fucking head tomorrow of a 9-year-old, and like, they won't blink about it, you know. So at the end of the day, there's multiple parts of this, and you could have multiple opinions on certain situations. At the end of the day, the most generalized thing, Reno said it, have fun, go ahead,
Yeah, right.
do what you do. It doesn't affect us as long as we're not involved. But, you know, speaking of this issue, this is a news story that just came out. So the Trump administration and it has to do with this. The Trump administration is saying that it is going to be withholding FEMA funds for certain states if they do the banning of Israeli companies or whatever. I don't know if you've seen that. Let me see if I
No.
can pull it up. At first I thought it was just like bullshit on Twitter. So, but there's a lot of good sources that have been reporting on it. You know, I'm not cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not cool with it. It's not, you know, that shouldn't be a factor in aid, you know.
Right, yeah. What somebody's state is doing, shouldn't affect the people within that state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like no, and not only not by that standard, but putting
Mhm.
it to that putting that to that degree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even if you agree with it, I still think that you should get fucking FEMA aid. Here we go. Let me pull this up. Brianna, I trust her because she tries to like hold off on stories. So just in the Trump
Yeah, she's smart.
administration will withhold federal disaster preparedness funding from U.S. states and cities that boycott Israeli companies. FEMA requires applicants to certify that they will not restrict commercial relations, specifically with Israeli companies, to qualify for assistance. This rule affects at least $1.9 billion of grants for essential equipment like search and rescue gear, emergency management salaries, and backup power systems per 11 FEMA grant notices reviewed by Reuters. This is part of the administration's broader effort to use federal funding to promote its position on Israel. Now, granted, no matter how somebody feels about Israel, like just put another country in the slots where it says Israel, and then you start going, oh well, wait, I'm not okay with that. Would a conservative be pro, funding the Afghanistan companies that are ran by the Taliban? And the answer is no. When it comes to foreign governments, you should have the right. Your state should have the rights to decide. I wouldn't say a boycott, but decide not to use Israeli companies to do business with.
When are people going to see that there are a lot of L's that are coming out of this administration? Like you're talking about. So that actually segues into this, dude. We're looking at Tropical Storm Dexter is coming in. It's going to make landfall, and it's going to affect everybody from Washington and New York, and flash floods and the whole 9 yards. So if New York says that they're not going to sign this document saying they're not going to go after so all the people in New York are going to have to fucking suffer for what the state government and these are innocent fucking people. He's not going to release funds. Well, yeah, I know. You and I want New York to fall into the ocean.
Please don't make me reverse my position. Like Patty the other day was bitching about Trump building like a concrete little area.
Dude, it looks fucking horrible.
It looks bad, but I'm like, Patty's complaining about it. I'm like, yeah, well, concrete sinks, right? So my logic is let's actually.
Oh, you said his name 3 fucking times. Oh man, God damn it!
3 times.
No, seriously, it looks like shit, dude.
All right, whatever. It looks like shit, but we should pave the entire DC in concrete to hope it sinks into the Atlantic.
Right, but my point. All right, so you know what? What if it doesn't matter? All right, so Massachusetts sucks. Period, and they're fucking psychotically liberal, and it's just a shit show and a shithole. But I don't believe that the people in Massachusetts should have to go without FEMA grants if a natural disaster happens there, because they decided they don't want an Israeli company opening up in downtown Boston.
I think it
has nothing to do with the people that live in fucking places like Plymouth that are going to get fucking hit by this storm, and they're going to need the fucking
to be clear, I think it's just the state purchasing from Israeli companies.
It doesn't matter what company.
No, I'm just clarifying. My position is that your FEMA grant should not hinge on whether you purchase from Israeli companies or not.
Those two entities should be completely separate.
Yeah.
This is like I get what the purpose behind what he's saying and what he wants to do, but that's not the way to go about fucking doing it.
No, I'm with you.
People who have voted for him are going to be affected by this. This fucking storm, if you guys are tracking Dexter, it's going to be pretty fucking bad.
We live in Florida. We don't pay attention to anything below Cat 5.
But let's zoom out a second. Let's zoom out. really quick on FEMA itself. Do you support FEMA? Period. Do you think FEMA
Not
should be
FEMA under the way Joe Biden had it.
No,
Roman.
no. Just in general, the general mission statement.
I've seen FEMA do a lot of good. Being from Florida, as well as I mean, I've seen FEMA do a lot of good. I've also seen FEMA do a lot of bad as far as there were people that needed help that they said didn't qualify for help and so on and so forth. So
North Carolina was an unmitigated failure. What FEMA was doing and what they were instructed to do in North Carolina and Appalachia, dude, no fucking way. I don't support them. I've actually seen more from like the guys at Grunt Style. Don't even start, Patty. But Chad was down there with a whole bunch of fucking people, and they got more done. Nick Sorter went down there with a whole shitload of fucking. I saw American citizens do more for people in North Carolina than FEMA did at all.
But was that FEMA though, or was that the administration?
No. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter.
FEMA did
for me. Can I finish this real quick? And then I know it's your show, bro.
No. It's good. It's
to
good.
me, I have a set of morals and fucking standards. All right. And for me, it doesn't matter. If I was a cop, here's the example. If I was a cop and my chief told me to go out on a red flag law, I tell him to eat a bag of dicks. All right. Yeah. If I'm sitting there watching people dying, kids fucking starving, people freezing to death, soaking wet, not have a fucking roof over their head, I don't give a shit what fucking Joe Biden or that fucking administration would tell me. I would release every bit of fucking aid that I can to help as many human beings as fucking possible. So fuck FEMA.
So honestly,
you're not going to tell me what the fuck to do when it comes to saving people's fucking lives. And if you think any other way, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Patty?
Yeah, I think I don't accept anything you just said as reality. If it were reality, I would agree with you, but it isn't. The idea,
it's not reality.
That all right, no, hold on a second. The idea that a president would benefit at all from allowing people intentionally to die and starve and freeze is just ridiculous. Now, hold on a second, God damn it.
He fucking did.
Rob, I've been on here less than a minute and you've interrupted me fucking 5 times already. Right. What I'm saying is there's absolutely no political benefit, even if you think the worst of everybody. There's no benefit to that. There's no percentage in letting people die. We learned that when George Bush fucked up FEMA by appointing that guy who was in charge of fucking horse dancing or whatever the fuck it was. Mike Brown back before Katrina and Rita, right? And he got absolutely destroyed. He has a stain on his presidency and his legacy forever for the way he handled that shit because he didn't take it seriously. Why would anyone want to follow that fucking road? Nobody would. The answer is nobody would. All right. I'm not going to, we can argue about what FEMA did and didn't do, but I think you just have the idea that Joe Biden is Satan, and therefore anything he did must be wrong. And you will say that I've got Trump derangement syndrome, but I would say you have Biden derangement syndrome, or just basically generally.
No. I just saw. See this guy right here in the corner. You see this guy right here in the fucking corner.
The idea that they would benefit by people.
I saw what he did to him. I saw what he did to him. He is a fucking demon.
Let me cut in.
You're
here.
proving my point. Thank you for agreeing with me.
Let me cut in here. So. I kind of agree with Patty here. I think because the whole thing about politics.
Why do you know what went on during Katrina?
Hold on.
You have the news. You weren't there,
Rob. Hold on. So, I kind of agree with Patty here on one of his points. Not completely, not entirely. The whole thing about politics is getting these propaganda wins, right? And what better way to get a propaganda win than saying, "Hey, look, I saved a bunch of people." So I think the issue comes in the management of FEMA and how they react to certain disasters.
Yeah, look how it worked for Obama and Sandy. He went down there and shook Chris Christie's hand and was on the ground, and he got tons of political capital out of that. Whether you like him or not, people liked it. People liked the way he responded.
He's an intelligent politician. Obama is an intelligent politician.
Yeah.
But look, being on the ground, I can't speak to some things because I can't speak to, like Rob said, I can't speak to Katrina because I was a kid. I was partying my ass off. I didn't really fucking, I saw it on the news. I was like, oh shit, didn't affect me. Fuck that shit. But one that I did go through, and a lot of the guys went through, is during Hurricane Harvey, right? And that was Trump's first year in office, and like there wasn't any complaints there. You know, you had like little pockets of complaints, but he managed it well. You know, and I saw the results of it on the ground. I saw FEMA on the ground. FEMA was also working with private citizens that are trying to save people, like the Proud Boys. And they didn't care about political affiliation. They're like, hey, look, these are the rescues. These are people that we need a wellness checks on. And we work with the Cajun Navy, which is another private entity, right? I think it's a nonprofit, if I'm not mistaken. And
Right.
that was managed very well. I was in prison for the North Carolina issue. I saw a lot of complaints from the people of North Carolina. But also, you know, you have to add into the equation most hurricanes, which is the bigger disasters that happen on the East Coast, happen in red states. You know, the entire South is pretty much red, except at that point Georgia wasn't. But there was a lot of complaints by what how the Biden administration acted in North Carolina.
Yeah, to be really clear, I'm not saying that FEMA did everything right or most things right in North Carolina.
They did
And
nothing
again, I
right.
was not on the ground. But what I'm saying is to assume that they intentionally let people die because they feel like, oh, these are probably Republicans, is absolutely psychotic to think that. That's insane. I wouldn't think that of Donald Trump. Like if something happened in Massachusetts, I would not think.
Yeah, well, why don't you talk to the people that were
Donald
there?
Trump would
Why don't you talk to the people that were there?
Look, I've seen enough news reports.
You weren't there, so you have no idea what the fuck was going on there.
Okay,
We all go by news reports.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is you're assigning an intention to Democrats and Joe Biden that they want Republicans to, I think you said, starve and freeze and die. That's insane.
No, I said
That's
FEMA
psychopathic bullshit. Well,
it's not psychopathic bullshit. But you know what? When you talk to the people that were there on the ground, you tell me. If you actually had a pair of fucking balls, you would have fucking been down there talking to those people. But you don't.
What do you? I didn't have a pair of balls, so I wasn't in North Carolina. Nope. Enrique wasn't there. He didn't have a pair of balls, or well, he was in jail. Okay,
he was in jail.
So everybody who wasn't
actually, wait,
I have a pair of balls.
I was in the region. I was in the region.
Yeah, but you were slightly your travel was a little restricted.
I was in a region, but I was in a heavily
you were stuck in those diesel fumes.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about what happened. I'm talking about you're assigning a motivation.
I'm talking about what FEMA was directed to do by Joe Biden's administration.
Yeah, and he directed them to allow people to starve and freeze and die.
He told them not to do fucking anything.
Oh,
and
you know how many? You don't have any evidence of that.
Yes, I fucking do. I have a shit ton of fucking video, and I know a shit ton of people that were down there. A ton of it. A ton of those people fighting. A ton of those fucking people. A ton of those fucking people that were fighting with FEMA to get through to give fucking people aid, and FEMA was stopping them. There were chiefs of police that were down there that were listening to fucking FEMA, stopping people from rendering fucking aid. It actually
I think you're
fucking
talking
happened.
out of your fat ass right now.
No, I don't. First of all, I don't have a fat ass. Second of all, at least I have an ass, you skinny faggot.
Wasn't there an ass comment in one of you's Twitter?
There was an ass comment.
There was
an ass comment.
Okay, so
it would have sounded, by the way, Rob, when that thing would have come out of your ass, it would have sounded like
good
this.
News.
Well, wait, before you get into the good news,
that's dude. Come on. I actually do give him a little more credit than most people do. You're a lot more creative than that. That was lame, bro.
I think we can all find common ground on the fact that how North Carolina was handled by FEMA just went to the exposed the inequities that are within that organization.
Now, wasn't there another hurricane that happened here in Florida? I mean, while I was imprisoned.
Yeah, I think you guys got hit with two major ones.
Yeah, there was a couple actually.
Yeah, and DeSantis, and you also see the difference in state governments too. Like DeSantis is like quick.
Yeah, I think
as
much as some people don't like him, As much as some people disapprove of him or whatever, DeSantis, he handles disasters really well. They were really prepared for all the disasters under DeSantis.
And he's an awkward person, like an awkward speaker. But dude, like when you look at just like what he does on the day, I have a friend of mine, Chris.
You mean
Nelson.
autistic?
Yeah.
You're being very generous. With
Chris,
This is where he's going with it.
Chris Nelson's a good friend of mine. He's not a big Trumper. You know, he's a big conservative. He's not a big Trumper. He's a big DeSantis guy. You know, so and he posts, you know, constantly, like every day, what DeSantis is doing. And like every day it's like 5 or 6 bills. He's deregulating something. He's on something, and he's not like on TV, you know, talking about it. He just goes, does it, and he does like a press conference every fucking 2 weeks. He's like, this is what I did. Fuck you. You like it? You don't? Fuck it. This is what you voted me for. And I think he would have been a very effective president.
I can tell you there are a lot of liberals, including myself, and I put myself in this category, who were worried that, I mean, I didn't think there was any chance that DeSantis would beat Trump, but I thought there was, you know, a possibility he's an old man, maybe he drops dead or something. And then DeSantis ends up with the nominee, or gets shot, and DeSantis ends up the nominee and wins. Because as bad of a politician, I think he's a terrible politician. He's awkward as fuck, and I don't think he could ever win the presidency, no matter who he runs against. But if he ever did get in there, he is actually competent enough to do all the stuff that Trump is too stupid to actually accomplish. So I was like, shit, please, if I have to pick between DeSantis or Trump being president, at the time I was like, yeah, just give me Trump, because we know how incompetent he is. He already proved it in 4 years. I don't want to see what DeSantis might be able to fuck up on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, he would get things actually done, whereas Trump is too fucking scatterbrained and you know, just jingle the keys over here and he forgets his fucking name. So, you know, I was worried about that, and a lot of my liberal friends were like, please don't let DeSantis get nominated. I don't want to see this happen.
DeSantis
I think
uses.
I think Trump is DeSantis has peaked at his governorship. He's peaked at that level. I don't think he would ever go national politics.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think
he could end up in the Senate maybe, but that's it.
I don't think he has because to be president you have to have it. You know, it's like a spark.
Yeah.
You know, you knew in 2008, if you went through those primaries, you knew Obama was going to take it. He had that spark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you knew Trump was going to take it. He had it. DeSantis doesn't have it, but he's a doer, right? And another thing about him is that he uses the entire toolbox. Everything at his disposal to get his agenda done, he will grab onto it and like throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at getting his agenda done. So that's another reason I think that Florida was so. I think there wasn't too many complaints there on the hurricanes in Florida. But I think that also had to do with the state government. I don't know how the North Carolina state government handled things. Again, I'm not privy to that because I wasn't up to date. I was just looking at fucking election numbers, to be honest with you.
Well, they just weren't ready. North Carolina wasn't ready for that area to be hit by a hurricane because it's so unusual. It basically has never happened. So they were caught with their pants down, and you can almost understand that because, like I said, it's so weird. But I think that we have to. The reality is, I'm going to get Rob screaming about this. The reality is, with the climate the way it is right now, places that didn't previously get hit with hurricanes are going to get hit with hurricanes. It's just the reality. So you can't hide from it anymore. You can't say, hey, we're 150 miles inland. We don't have to worry about anything but like a stiff breeze. It's not true anymore, and we saw that in Asheville. I mean, that's great. My wife is from North Carolina, and she was telling me there is no way that they ever would have expected that when she was growing up, you know, and living there. It's just not a thing that could even possibly happen.
I mean, Doc down here in the comments section said something that's also important. It's the people of Florida. You know, we're used to hurricanes. You know, we fucking throw parties down here in Miami when a hurricane's coming. And for some reason, we're like, Miami's in the center of the path of the hurricanes, and we always get missed. Like, it always goes south or north, and we never get hit. So, but Publix is ready.
Better knock on a piece of wood.
Yeah,
Publix
for you, man.
Publix, I'll throw a fucking party, dude. I'll invite Reno. I'll be like, hey, come down here. Reno's probably not even like the cone. And like Reno will come down and be like, all right, let's party, you know, and our building codes are extremely.
I remember having something like that back in Rob would remember Hurricane Gloria back in like 1986 or something like that. And I remember I was a kid. No, I was a kid. We got hit. We got hit. It was the first hurricane I remember.
Yeah, in Florida we only worry when the Waffle House shuts down. When Waffle House shuts down, it's fucking the Waffle House shuts down, it's fucking game over. So you might as well leave.
I remember during Gloria, the reason I brought it up was I was trying to play. Me and my father were out in the backyard trying to play wiffle ball, and with the wind going as crazy as it was, it like everything was just flying all over the place. It was fun. You didn't realize how dangerous it actually was, but they're way more dangerous now. And I think Enrique, you probably just cursed yourself because I think your house is going to get blown down with the next.
Bro, if you've ever been to my house. My house is not getting blown down, dude. It is solid poured concrete. Like a flood, it would have to flood about 4 feet for water to even get close to my door. And even if that were to happen, if I close out, like I'll be quick about it. I'll fucking seal it with concrete. That's the door is at its lowest point, and the water would have to get another 2 feet above that to actually go in the house.
If that's the case, why didn't you just do that when the feds came to arrest you? You could have stayed in there for years.
Seal the door with concrete.
Just seal the door with concrete. You're fucked. Yeah, they're not going to be able to. That fucking bullshit that you see on TV that they use a little robot to like crush into the fucking wall. It's just not going to happen here. Rob, you had another story? Rob, your audio? No, I got no audio. I got no mic audio from you. But
you touched something.
But I guess in conclusion here, I think the administration should not.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you. Should not do the FEMA thing. Should not take money from FEMA because they divested in Israeli companies.
Yeah, that's a horrible.
I don't agree with it.
That's a
with
fucking bogus,
forcing
dude.
Divesting. It's cringy. It's more because it's cringy. Like if the Israeli make a better product, then go ahead and buy it.
What do they make besides weapons?
I don't know. I think that's the crux of it.
They make trouble, is what they make.
I think they do make most of the shit that comes out of there is defense technologies.
Well,
and they don't. I don't think they
a
manufacture as it's not the manufacturing. It's the technology that goes behind it.
Yeah, it's not really an economic sanction against Israel. It's just kind of a political thing where people are saying, and I understand where they're coming from when they say we don't want to. Look, we may all agree on this. Actually, I think the Israeli government is reprehensible the way they treated Palestinians, not just in the last year or two, but just since like 1948.
Palestinians don't exist.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, the idea, the way they've treated people in the Palestinian territories by not even allowing them to repair water treatment facilities, they have dirty water, by not allowing certain people who live on the in houses in the West Bank and Gaza to go to the second floor of their house or get shot. There's like the Israeli government, and not the Jewish people, the Israeli government has been reprehensible and committed war crimes for decades, right? So the idea that we would want to not spend money with them, even if it's just a nominal amount of money, it makes a statement. You could say, hey, well, we shouldn't have bothered divesting from South Africa in I'm going to get comments on this from South Africa in the 80s to stop apartheid. That had an effect. Apartheid went away because of what the United States and Europe did in divesting from them and boycotting them. So we stopped buying their lentils and they couldn't feed themselves and they got rid of apartheid. So I don't have a problem with
the opposite.
Yeah, well, okay. We can talk about that as a side issue. But the point is that I think people have the right to say, hey, we don't want to spend money with this government if they're abusing other people. I don't think it's going to make a lick of difference one way or the other. Because again, we don't buy a lot of Israeli products. You're right. So it's not going to matter, but I don't have a problem with it. I do have a problem with the government, with the federal government saying if the state government decides they don't want to do business with somebody, we're going to punish them for it. And I think
that's kind of like an overreach on states' rights. I think.
Sure it is. Sure it is.
So, okay. So,
yeah. So
I don't know what Rob's feel-good story is.
It's a feel-good story.
This is my favorite comment, by the way. Before you do it, why is Patty allowed to talk? LOL. It's hard to say.
We allow him to. We allow him to talk at sometimes.
All right. So
Rob-
the
Rob-
feel good story is a boat carrying mostly Ethiopian migrants sank off the southern Yemen, killing at least 76 people. With dozens missing, this marks another deadly incident in the perilous migration route from Africa to the Arabian Peninsula. It's a feel good story. It's a good start.
I don't know. Look, with the Cubans, so the Cubans have like a short route.
I mean,
I don't know
it's
if
either
the
quick
Ethiopians
death
have
or
like a
starve
long-
to death. I mean, what do you got? They're Ethiopians.
They should have got with the Cubans to learn how to make boats.
Yeah, we make boats out of Chevrolets and shit. I thought you were going to bring up. I'm going to bring up that comment by Shell. A second.
No, I actually have something else.
Well, most of the Ethiopians can just wait for a stiff breeze and be blown onto another continent.
I know. So the only other thing
Skinny
I got,
guy makes a skinny joke.
and I don't know the details of this yet, but so I'm gonna, because this just hit me this morning, and I haven't had time because obviously working with you on the t-shirts and shit. A manhunt is underway in Montana for a man named Michael Paul Brown. He's a 45-year-old Army vet suspected of killing 4 people in a shooting in a bar in Anaconda. So I don't know all the details on that yet. I wonder what the deal is with that. It's
Why does Michael Brown sound familiar?
Michael Paul Brown. He's not one of us. Shut up.
No.
That and the only other thing that I got for the news that probably will turn into a debate, but Texas Democrats, being the faggots that they are.
Yeah, please let's talk about that. That's great.
Yeah. Texas Democrats, being the faggots that they are, fled the state to delay a Republican-led effort to redraw congressional maps, potentially giving the GOP an edge in 2026 midterms. Meanwhile, President Trump's claim of a scam in revised jobs reports were refuted by experts who say the revisions are routine.
Well, wait. Let's hit this one at a time.
The Texas
Didn't
Democrats.
Didn't they pass a law about that?
Something about Texas and Democrats, steers and queers, and they
Didn't
don't
they
look
pass
like
a
they have
law
horns.
about them leaving the state?
No, that was Wisconsin. You're right, though. That was
Yeah.
Wisconsin about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But you're right about that, Reno. That did happen. They passed a law that says you can't do that anymore.
Okay, so check this out. This story of the Texas Democrats, right? One of them compared themselves to the Spartans, right? To the and so from what I remember of the story, the Spartans, it was 500 Spartans versus X amount of fucking crazy amounts of Persians. At no point in that story did I hear that the 500 Spartans turned around and ran away from the fight. So, and then the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, is pretty much saying that he's gonna remove all of them for skipping this vote.
Yeah, he's going to stand up to them.
And like, if this goes to the Supreme Court, we already know how they're going to vote.
Who the hell knows how they're ever going to vote? I mean,
the racial gerrymandering shouldn't be a thing.
It is a thing, and it's what they're doing. It's but it's technically legal.
I'm going to pull up.
Where's all the shit?
Dude, I can't read that.
No shit, because it's missing a whole bunch of shit.
Illinois.
It's missing the lights.
Oh boy.
No, it's missing all the fucking, like, I don't know where the C goes, the hole where the R is. It's
we know you don't know where the
it's
C goes.
fucking
man.
broken,
It's been
kid.
Years you haven't.
It's
known
fucking
that.
broken. Look at this kid. What the fuck is this kid?
Now he gets the Massachusetts.
Oh, you got it. You got it in there.
Yeah,
the pieces,
it's missing shit.
the pieces are in there. The pieces are in there.
No, ladies and gentlemen, this is cool as shit. These are going to be the lighted signs, like what's behind Enrique, and these are actually going to go up and be on sale by Friday this week.
Yeah.
If you want a critical mass fucking sign, well,
I think mine's going to be a big seller.
yeah, it's just going to have a penis on it. That's all it's going to have is a dick.
Yeah. So Yeah, and then you could also custom make them to whatever you want. You know, if you have like a family bar in like a bar inside
look.
your house, you can
Look, so here's the crit part, right?
crit
But wait.
Ass.
crit,
Yeah.
crit ass.
Good.
It just does it. The jokes write themselves here at the Warboy
Oh my
Studios.
god.
Some assembly required.
Yeah.
This is just you just gave me the punch out from the laser cut. Is that what this is?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I
So
gotta-
that's called that's called the positive. So you
Yeah.
can do whatever you want with that.
Just gonna put it right here.
I've got some suggestions.
I'm gonna stick it right fucking here.
Hey, we're at 720,
Oh, wait.
726 right now from my vantage point.
There we go.
Get to 1,000, I gotta go.
That
So,
you guys are reading that properly, right?
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, ass.
That's gotta
Perfect.
get
And then,
This is ass, yeah.
and then Crit's gonna go on this side.
Critical ass.
Oh,
Tune in at 5.
oh.
Hey,
So
about the-
Tune in at 5. for
what do I
chin
gotta
ass.
do? What do I gotta do? Just
Yeah,
glue,
put
the,
it-
glue
I
these
gotta,
pieces
I gotta,
in?
I gotta sit there and I gotta tell you how to do it. Just have the light box ready. I'll go through it. So back to this story really quick about gerrymandering. And what's funny about gerrymandering is they left from Texas to Illinois, right? Let me show you a picture of what gerrymandering looks like in Illinois. Let me see if I could zoom in here a second.
I don't think you need to. It's ridiculous as it is, but look at that.
Oh, it's not letting me zoom. Oh, yeah, here we go. So check this out.
Fucking
Oh,
rat tail. That's just insane.
you can't zoom in. That's gay.
So I do appreciate the shirt, but
So take a look at St. Louis, which comes out, not St. Louis, but it comes out of number 13. And I know you guys are watching this on your phone, so I'm trying to see if I could zoom in here somehow.
you do realize that whatever the shirt is that you sent me, Enrique, or
Mhm.
is made for children. Like I couldn't even fit my dick in this thing.
I don't know about the shirt. Barry, it was just
I'm
supposed
sure
to be
you'll try later though.
So check
I will.
check this number 13 out. That just cuts across 15, and 15 just like wraps around it.
Yeah.
Right. And then just take a look at 17 where it has this weird cut. And if you come into if I'm able, I can't zoom in. I don't know why. Is this an image? Let me just save this Illinois congressional map, and maybe I could fucking put. No, I can't put it up. My bad. Whatever. This congressional map is fucking retarded, and it is racially gerrymandered. So for they could have gone. I don't know. They could have gone somewhere else where, like, this example wouldn't have existed in other places. Well, in some places because gerrymandering is everywhere, but for the most part. Like these maps are fucking insane, and this needs to stop. You know, it should just
definitely
be
does.
like entire counties. You know, it should be just like pick the fucking counties that are in District 13 and pick the entire counties that are in 15. But no, it's all over the place. And Texas does have obviously some gerrymandering. What's his name? What's
A shitload of it.
What's iPatch McCain's seat? Whatever. iPatch McCain has a seat that's similar to that, where it fucking like does like a hook around the city center. So I'm hoping that the Supreme Court locks into this and makes it a big deal. How do you guys feel about it?
Yeah, dude. I think running from your job is horrible, especially when it's in the government.
Yeah. And the number one person that this would affect is Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you see her district, you'll know exactly why. You know, she didn't get voted. They didn't vote for her because of her accolades.
No.
You know, they didn't vote for her because she had great, bright ideas. But then again, you could say that about almost every congressperson. But for the most part,
I mean, come on, like really, like this is where I have an opinion that I think everybody hates is that I don't think anybody should tell another state, anybody from one state should tell another state how to elect their people. It's your business. You elect your people, and that's it. The city in New York wants to elect a right winger, left winger. It's none of my fucking business because I don't live there. Jasmine Crockett is not my congresswoman. It's none of my business whether Marjorie Taylor Greene is not my congresswoman. It's none of my business what the people in the idiotic district in Georgia do. But people are going to talk about it because the makeup of Congress affects everybody. I think just gerrymandering on its face should be illegal. But the problem is the Supreme Court has said over and over again that it is legal and it can be partisan. So there's not going to be, even if they think that, hey, this is a racist thing that Texas is trying to do, or they're trying to limit Democratic representation, and they've even said that's what they're trying to do, is limit Democrats in statewide office in Texas. It's not illegal. So what the fuck are you going to do until the court decides to reverse precedent, which I don't think they're going to do anytime soon?
You don't
have to live with this shit.
You don't think the Supreme Court would
No, they ruled on it like twice in the last like 20 years, and they
ruled on Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, they changed Roe, but that took a really long time. I'm not going to hold.
Well, they didn't really change Roe. They
they
kind of did it in a different way, but
yeah,
they didn't.
Backhanded way, and it's fine. Look, I'm just saying I'm not going to hold my breath for them to change this because every politician in the country wants to be able to gerrymander. They just want to do it their own way. So when the Democrats look, this stunt, and I hate political stunts. Anybody who participates in them, I immediately just disregard. Right? If you're gonna leave the state as some sort of fucking hero to everybody, miss me with that shit. I don't care. I just that stuff is stupid. You're gonna lose. They're going to gerrymander Texas. The only way to change this is at the Supreme Court, and we don't have the votes to do that right now. So you just have to be a big boy and girl and fucking live with what it is, man. It's just,
yeah. But you're setting the stage, and my next topic actually is one for Rob, because I did a lot of extensive AI searching yesterday because of something that interests highly interesting.
He says,
yeah, AI searching. I'm not very good. I've noticed I'm not very good at prompting it. So let's switch gears here on it's firearm news.
okay.
So yesterday, there's been a big development in our case. I'm not at liberty to tell you guys right now, even in the green room. But at 7:00 tonight, there's going to be a big change, and there's going to be and I don't say it lightly, but there's something big that's happening, that's going to affect not the J6 community, but it will affect Joe. It will affect Ethan. It will affect Zach, and it will affect Dom, and also it will affect me. So granted on that, maybe I could, with what I'm going to tell you, you could kind of start putting the pieces together. So I'm a former felon, right? I caught a case in 2013. It's a white collar fraud case or whatever. And then I recently got pardoned by the president.
I consider you a future felon as well, though.
Possible.
Okay.
Possible. So coming in, you just lost.
Come on. All you got to get is 300 more and I'm out. I
got pardoned. Right. So I still just have to worry about my previous felony, and I've been a business owner my whole life, so I really don't give a shit whether I have a felony on my record or not, but it does stop me from owning firearms. And then yesterday I was thinking, I'm like, fuck, what is it going to take for me to get my firearms back? And I'm like, well, there's only one solution, is to get pardoned for my 2013 case, but that is not true. There is a case, and maybe you know of it, Rob. It's called the Minuet or some shit like that, Mossenet or some shit. The Supreme Court kicked it back down, and the precedent is for felon possession of a firearm. And,
that's what's his name?
What they're arguing in the case, and I think it's a Florida case. It's a 11th Circuit case, where non-violent felonies should not apply to losing your gun rights.
Right.
You shouldn't you should be able to own. I think it should be more broad than that. But regardless of the fact, right now they just kicked it back on July 2nd. They kicked it back to the circuit court, and the circuit court has to decide.
That's Rahimi.
No, the Rahimi case set the precedent for this case for the 22G.
Yes. I know who you're talking about.
I have it here in my Grok thing. But regardless of the fact, so there's a chance that I could get my gun rights back.
I even think that violent felons should be able to get their rights back, because there was never a historical precedent that the government took away guns when the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791, which is the Bruin decision. Yeah, all this goes back to two decisions from the Supreme Court.
It is Rahim case.
Rahimi. I told you.
No. Oh, wait. There's two cases. There's the Rahimi, and then there's the Rahim. Apparently, I think it's the same one too. Middle Eastern guys are the ones that are going to give us our gun rights back.
No, Rahimi's a Puerto Rican, I think.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's Puerto Rican, some kind of Latin, whatever. Yeah, no, dude, I believe that. So anyway, like I was saying, when the Second Amendment was ratified in 1791, none of these laws existed. We had people who were violent that get arrested, drunk and disorderly. Their guns were taken to them. They put them in the drunk tank. They put them out. They gave them their guns back, because our society, our culture, our war was won by citizens having guns. And this fucking bullshit ideology that the fucking our founding fathers would not have seen could have foreseen what technology when it comes to firearms would, what it would be like in the future is bullshit. First of all, that's been proven many, many times. But I think a repeat violent offender. So here's an example. Patty and I man the fuck up. We're on the streets of fucking Boston. We're in fucking the combat zone, kid. And when him and I want to fucking man the fuck up, which is going to be really hard for him, but we want to man the fuck up and handle our shit like fucking men. Now, we both get arrested. We both have assault and batteries, which is a violent felony in Massachusetts. Should we have our gun rights taken away from us? Absolutely not.
No, I don't think so.
Well,
so
right. I disagree with you on that. And by the way,
you think our gun rights should be taken away?
Yeah, anyone
if you
who
and I
doesn't
get into
know
a fight, we man the fuck up.
The combat zone
doesn't exist
was
anymore.
an area. It doesn't exist anymore. It was an area in Boston, which is now Chinatown. Which
it was always Chinatown. It was always Chinatown.
Well, that's all it's called now. It used to have a whole bunch of dirty bookstores and strip clubs, right? So the reason they called it the combat zone is because sailors and military people who were on leave in Boston used to hang out there, getting hookers and going into the porn stores and shit like that. So they called it. This was during the Vietnam era.
Yeah, but they called it the combat zone.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. They basically eradicated it overnight.
Yeah, like Hell's
1981 or whatever. Yeah.
No, dude. It was still there in the 90s. I was hanging out there in the fucking 90s.
Well, they got rid of everything but the two strip clubs that actually exist now. The Glass Slipper, and I can't remember the name of the other one now. But anyway, so anyway, they got rid of all that shit. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I really do look. I'm with you on most gun rights things. I think that people should have the right to keep and bear arms. I'm not trying to get rid of the Second Amendment, but I think if you commit a violent crime, especially if you commit one with a firearm, then I do think you've forfeited your rights to have.
Well, no, I didn't say that. I made a very simple example. If two men want to fucking fight it out, they shouldn't even be arrested in the first place. If two men want to,
they probably wouldn't be. Just having a brawl in a bar, that's probably not going to rise to the level. If you get into a bar fight, and I'm not saying I have experience with this, but I'm saying
I do.
If you get into a bar fight, you're probably not going to get charged with a fucking felony. You're probably going to get slapped on the wrist.
Assault and battery
all the time.
Assault and battery in Massachusetts is a felony.
Dude, I got in a fight with a half of the Brookline Police Department. Didn't get charged with a fucking felony. So most of the time,
because you're white,
right?
You're white.
You're right.
I'm gonna be the crazy voice here. I don't think the government has the right to take. No man has a right to take away a right that was given to me by God.
Yep. Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
No matter what I do.
But I do believe that let's say
I don't believe
rapists or pedophiles, they should never have a right to a fucking gun. They're not
Well,
humans.
well,
as far as
wait,
I'm
wait,
concerned.
wait, Rob,
They're not.
See,
humans.
now you're splitting the hairs here.
No.
Now let's
I'm
play.
talking
That's a
about there
violent
should be-
crime.
Hey, hold on. Let me play a game of.
That's a
Find the-
violent crime.
Let me play 2 games of Find the Line. Patty, so do you think that a violent felon should never, forever
Here in.
own a firearm?
Oh no, I'm here.
Yeah, I think a violent felon should have his gun rights taken away
Forever,
forever.
never to be able to get it back. You
Never.
don't believe in redemption at all.
I believe in rehabilitation,
That's not
but
a very
I think that doesn't. I don't think they should go to
democratic
jail. I don't think everybody should look. Yeah, I believe in rehabilitation, but I don't believe that it's a good idea to let people who have committed violent.
Well, I'm not asking
felonies
about a good
to
idea. I'm
give
just
and go.
saying-
Well, yeah, I think we should legislate based on what's a good idea and what isn't. You know what I'm saying? So call me crazy, call me a pervert, but that's what I think.
Okay,
You know,
so
firmly. Yeah,
and
it's a hard
and
no.
what's your position? And what's your position on non-violent felonies like fraud, for example?
No,
Should-
I don't think
after
that
they
should have
commit-
anything to do with your ability to own a gun. No,
at all. So after I
no,
get
it's
out
got
of,
nothing. One has
after-
nothing to do with the other.
after I get out of prison, I could buy fucking like a joint and go ahead and buy a firearm.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool.
course.
Rob, so you said something, and this is you went into the emotion of it, right?
I like that.
Well, I believe you went into the emotion. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. And you instantly said that pedophiles and what was the other one?
Rapist.
And rapists should not own firearms.
Well, because I
So-
don't think they're human beings.
Well, okay,
I don't
I
classify
agree.
them as humans.
I agree, but just playing
Same thing
devil's
with
advocate
trannies.
here. So, like, let's say, let's say, both Democrats and Republicans in some unicorn fashion agree that should be like its limit, right? To set a new precedent, right? Don't you think that's a little dangerous because it allows them to extend that? Like it's if you had all your gun rights back, right? Completely, like no holds bar, like you could fucking buy a pistol, you're a violent felon no matter what. And this law were to come across, would you support it if it said we're taking away the rights of pedophiles and rapists to own firearms? So that's how we're going to regulate.
Yeah,
Firearms.
and I think I also think that people who well, I mean, listen, I don't even think they should ever be let out of jail, so they shouldn't even have an opportunity to get their fucking guns back.
I get it, but like I'm playing this
That's not the case,
theoretical. I'm playing this theoretical here. So don't you think that would be a dangerous precedent, because then the next person that comes along is like, hey, well, you know what, we should extend it now to violent felons. You know, we're back at stage 1 of where we are at. Like the next person,
Well,
the next iteration of politicians is like, okay, you know what, we should extend it for violent felons, and it becomes an emotional pull, and then you get to pick up people and you get to create legislation by already setting that precedent that as a felon, whether you committed these heinous acts, and I agree they're not humans, it becomes a danger to the Second Amendment.
look, I think that I have a very small like purview
Penis.
of what I think. Yeah, I was waiting. I paused because I was waiting for Patty to say it, because I was expecting him to say it.
But I'm
Again,
the one with the
'cause
fucking
he's a master of
6-year-old.
fondling the low hanging fruit.
We're gonna talk about actually on the last, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but on the last segment we are going to talk about your penis. So go ahead.
It's gonna be a very short subject.
It's going to be a
Yes,
short segment.
it's not going to take
Short
very
segment.
long for me to.
It's not long at all. Not long at all.
Almost immediate climax.
I know.
Listen, I can understand. Listen, I can understand what you're saying. I get it. I think that people say that are thinking with emotions, but
Well, it's not. It's not emotions, dude.
But listen, when I read the Constitution and the Second Amendment, the last line says "shall not be infringed." If that includes people that I don't like, or I don't, I think that are reprehensible
human.
or something, then so be it. It is just what it is. It says that the government shall not infringe on the right
You're
of
right.
people to keep
Yeah.
and bear arms.
So if we just started killing pedophiles, then this wouldn't even be an argument.
Look, here's the thing, though. People act like the
Because
Second
Patty's
Amendment
pro
is
map, by the way.
sacrosanct.
He said it multiple times.
It
I
is.
said
It's-
what?
Go
You're,
ahead,
you're pro
Patty.
map.
I'm
You think
already
these
going to
people can
counter.
be rehabilitated.
I'm already going to counter.
Yeah,
what
no,
you
no,
say.
no. Yeah,
Go ahead.
people say the Second Amendment is sacrosanct. Well, it's a fucking
is.
amendment, man. It's an amendment which can be
It is
undone,
absolutely.
just like
It could
just
be
like
undone.
prohibition, the
Yeah.
21st Amendment, or what was it? Yeah, 21st. I think it was the 21st.
You get 20. You
it
get
got
27
it got
states to fucking sign off
it
on
got
that.
taken away.
It'll never happen.
No. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I know it won't happen. What I'm saying is the
It is
idea that
immutable.
there's anything in the Constitution that could not be changed flies in the face of the fact that we have things called amendments.
I mean, I'm going to be
Amendments can
honest
be
with you. I'm
undone.
going to be honest
right?
with you. I'm going to be honest with you, Patty. Is the Constitution is just a piece of paper that's given me rights that God has already given me. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter. They can take away whatever they want, but those rights weren't given to me by the government. They were given to me by
Okay.
God.
All right. Well, I
Oh,
mean,
Patty-
I'm pretty
Patty's
sure
a-
God didn't come up with the income tax, and that's an amendment in the Constitution. But I'm saying not everything anything in the Constitution can be technically up for grabs. So the idea that you can't change the Second Amendment, of course we fucking can. Now, I don't think we're going to, but let's pump the brakes a little bit on the idea
Wait.
that it's
So
sacrosanct.
that would cause a
hold on,
civil
hold on.
war. I'm
Hold on,
telling you
Rob.
right now, that would cause a civil war.
I'm
So
not
I-
saying
I
it's going to
gotta-
happen, Rob. I'm just saying let's be clear
So-
about what we're talking about here.
So Patty, like I'm gonna break down what you said right now. So you're right. You know, amendments are amendments and they're changes, right? That's what an amendment is. And it could theoretically
Right,
be
theoretically,
voted
not-
on. Not practically, it's just not going to happen. Well, you know what? Let's never say never because the country is going in a retarded direction. But regardless of the fact, so
Ain't that the
so
truth?
now this is where I'm
This
going to
Jason kid is fucking funny, by the way. I hate to interrupt, but I took on Mike Tyson. That's pretty fucking good.
No, he said Mick,
Jason.
Mick Tyson. Mick.
No, he's
Tyson.
talking
No,
about
Mike.
Mike Tyson when I
He's
broke
talking
my
about
mic
his
the other day. Yeah. No, that is very well done, sir.
Mike is a microphone. Yes, very well done.
Microphone Tyson.
He's also the-
that's very well done. Very well done.
Yeah, that GIF is classic.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's
it's-
going to be part of the intro to my show from now on.
It is. So let me push back on you a little bit there. So if an amendment is
He wants you to
if
push on
to
his
if
back.
to undo if to undo the Second Amendment, you require another amendment, just like how we saw prohibition, right?
It's never happened.
Then why are we restricted now? Why are we so restricted now if we haven't
we've-
reached that?
We've had Supreme Court cases that have tightened and loosened restrictions on firearms over the last 250 years.
Heightened.
The most recent the most recent one was Keller, right, which loosened
Heller.
restrictions. Oh, Heller. I
Heller.
thought it was Keller.
Fucking
Okay.
retard.
Great dude.
Helen
Great-
Keller.
great
Oh,
dude,
I'm
by the way.
sorry. I get the name wrong. I must be retarded. No, so
Well, if you're
yeah,
going to
but-
cite precedent, cite it right.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh yeah, this is this. Okay, I'm not gonna fall down that rabbit hole. What I will say is that the Heller decision, which I want to say was in like something like 2008, somewhere in that era. I don't know exactly what year it was, so don't fucking freak out on me, Rob. But the idea that owning a handgun is like a personal right that everybody has was not adjudicated at the Supreme Court level before that, and now it has been.
Yes, it was
We can-
actually.
we can-
yes,
we can
it was,
make
and
decisions.
I can tell you the decisions. I can
Well,
tell you.
Heller
No.
significantly loosened restrictions. It basically said New York City could not have the restrictive laws that they wanted to have.
No,
right?
that was Bruin. That was Bruin, New York City. Heller was DC.
Yeah, Heller.
So that's
No,
fine.
no,
but
it's
the point
It's
is still
it's
the
an
point.
important distinction. If you're going to talk about shit that you don't know, I'm going to correct you.
Patty,
Okay.
Well,
Take the
yeah,
fucking
it is-
L
hold
when
on.
I do.
Hold
It
on.
is
Let me
an important-
let me
it is
cut
an
in.
None of you
important
motherfuckers
distinction
know
because
as much as I know about fucking firearms.
It's
Nobody
two different,
disputes
it's two
that.
different states.
All right, so you know what? If I correct you, be like, all right, Rob, you know what? You were right.
I
Dude.
just did.
You
I
just got to fucking suck it
hold
up
on.
and take the fucking L.
I just no. What I just said is you're correct. You're right about that particular thing.
You guys
but
hear
the
that?
point, the overall point, I just
I got
fucking
him
said
to
it
say
5
it. I
times.
got
What do
him
you
to say
want?
it.
That's a clip.
I just said it
That's a clip.
6 times.
Rob,
now,
you're right.
right?
You're right. You're right. I'm clipping
You're
that.
right.
I swear
But
to
the
God.
point,
Jason,
the overall point, the
Jason,
overall
make a-
point that I
make a
was
gif.
making.
Let
Jason,
Patty
make
finish,
a
let Patty
gif.
finish.
The point that I was making is that there have been recent Supreme Court decisions, including Heller, that have relaxed what some states felt they had the right to do to restrict guns, right? That's true no matter what, whether it was DC or New York, doesn't fucking matter. It's immaterial, right? The point
No,
is
it's actually
the
not,
Supreme
but-
Court has made decisions for the entire country, because the Supreme Court does not make decisions for the District of Columbia or New York City. They make decisions that apply to the entire fucking country. And you know that, right?
Right.
So Heller applies to everybody, right?
Yes.
And it said basically everybody's got the right to own a handgun, right? And that's something that the Supreme Court had not previously said, and they did say it then, because if they had previously said it, there would be no reason to even take that case. Okay, so that's the way that works, man. So you're right about the particulars of the wrong state that I had, but let's not have a fucking victory lap, because I'm afraid you'd pass out anyway.
Well, I should have the right to own a tank.
Dude. Yes, absolutely.
So wait, so
And a
Patty,
cannon.
just on the final, because we always get into the gun debate here. So is there? Why do you think, Patty? Why do you think, and when you read through those amendments, why do you think that the writers and the creators of this document felt the need to put that language in there, shall not be infringed? Like, shouldn't all of them not be infringed on? And why specifically that one?
Okay, so I'm really going to try to get through this very, very in like 30 seconds. And please, Rob, don't fucking interrupt me, because I know you.
I'm muting my mic because I'm going to start
Okay.
screaming in the background.
All right. So most people who are like hardcore Second Amendment absolutists like to ignore the part of the amendment that talks about a well-regulated militia. That's what they were talking about. Second, we had just won a war in which the British tried to restrict. They did take all the guns away. There's a really great series about Washington and his spies. I think it's on Netflix or whatever it's called.
It's called Turn.
Yeah, it's wonderful, right? And they talk about, and they show how the British soldiers, they confiscated all the weapons so that people couldn't fight, right? There was a need for people in the colonies at the time to have weapons to fight back against the British Army. That was the reality at the time. It is not a reality anymore. Amendments are written that make sense at the time and don't make sense going forward. I'm not saying we get rid of the Second Amendment. I'm saying that the shall not be infringed part of it was not intended to allow someone to have a fucking AR-15 in their house or an M16.
Oh my God! Shut the fuck up.
No. See,
Absolutely.
Hold on,
can't
hold
do
on,
it.
Rob.
He just
Rob,
can't do it.
hold on, Rob.
He just
hold on.
can't do it, can he? He
It
just
absolutely
can't.
was.
Right.
But there's a difference
That's my
between
point. I'm done.
the difference between the British, right? And there was a big gap there between the writing of the founding document, right, and
Yeah.
the end of the war.
Yeah, it was
Right.
5 years or so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then from the time that you're talking about, there is a difference. So why did they write it in that fashion after the fact? Like, if it wasn't needed, right?
No, I think it still was needed, because there was a legitimate possibility at the time that the British were going to take back the our states and call them colonies again. I mean, they basically tried it in 1812. So we weren't out of the woods just because the war was over. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody thought that at the end of the war, hey, we're going to have 250 years of uninterrupted sovereignty, because it was a big possibility that the British were going to come back in and take over, or the French or somebody else, So I think it made sense at the time. I don't think it makes sense. The way it's written in its entirety doesn't make sense today, right?
Yeah.
But it did at the time. And most of it does make sense today. It's just this part of it that I just don't get down with.
So everybody always, and I'm going to shit on a fellow Boston, how do you call it?
Right.
Bostonian?
Bostonian.
Bostonian.
A Bostonian. I'm going to do
Bostonian.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a guy from the North End.
Yeah, that's a guy from the north end.
Boston.
Bostonian.
So I'm going to shit on it. So everybody thinks that our founding fathers were like these perfect, examples, because we just read about them and we talk about them, like
We're
Sam
gonna talk
Adams,
shit about
right?
John Adams now.
Sam Adams.
Oh, Sam Adams. Okay.
So, yeah.
He makes a great
So-
beard, though.
So
No,
Sam
not really.
Adams. So Sam Adams.
He
was,
says no because he drinks faggot ass Blue Moon. You put an
Sam
orange in it
Adams
too?
pre-Constitution was my hero. He's my favorite founding father.
Yeah,
Post-
the Sons of Liberty. Yeah.
Post writing of the Constitution, He got all of that and he shit on it, and so did John Adams, by the way. Sam Adams decided that another rebellion needed to be quashed, and they were committing acts of sedition. Just shortly after the second inauguration of George Washington.
You're talking about the Whiskey Rebellion?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he wanted to hang them. He wanted to take their guns.
Yeah.
So granted, like these issues, and back on topic when it comes to the Second Amendment, and my belief, is that one was going to be the most controversial one moving forward. So the framers went ahead and added that little caveat in there because they knew it was going to be challenged as much as it is, because it is, if you look at all the amendments, which none of them exist right now. and to go back what Reno said, it's just right now to the American government, it's just a piece of paper that you could shit on for political purposes. But the Second Amendment had that in there because we'd argue about it, and it has a comma there. It has a comma. Then it goes into a well-regulated militia, which we have. Is it over-regulated right now? Yeah, I think so. But we do have a well-regulated militia, but shall not be infringed sits on its own when it comes to
I've heard people on this panel talk about repealing the 19th Amendment over and over and over and over again ad nauseum. Yeah. So I think that the idea that you can't repeal an amendment, I know, Enrique, you understand that.
You need a new amendment. You need to amend the amendment,
which can be done, but it's almost impossible. The way the country is divided right now, it's almost physically impossible.
Yeah, it takes,
technically it is possible.
What is it? The Congress of States or?
Well, that's the thing that that can only happen after you get 2/3
Confederation of States or something.
It's like 75% of the House and then 2/3 of the Senate, and then it has to be ratified by 75% of the states. The numbers might not exactly be right there.
Yeah,
but
I think it's 20.
They're
need
pretty
27
insurmountable.
states. We need 27 states. I think it is.
I don't think you could get 27 state legislatures to agree that fucking today's Monday. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the idea that we're going to ever have another constitutional amendment, I think is insane.
Now,
we're never going to have another one. We're done.
If you have now, there is a way to get closer to that, right? And this is one of the things that scare me, because a lot of people are advocating for a multi-party system, right? If you have a multi-party system, you start forming these coalitions, and you could get over that bar on specific instances. So that is another danger of having, and we've seen it. We've seen the dysfunction. If you think a 2-party system is dysfunctional, try a 5-party system. And that's typically what Canada has. It has 5 major parties. Or when we cross the ponds and you see the British government, how dysfunctional they are. But when you're talking about,
it's because they're British. That's why they're dysfunctional. Yeah, well, because that island should be sunk into the sea. But I
agree on something.
Don't talk to the Irish guy about the British, right? Let's not go down that.
Listen, I've always supported the IRA.
Okay,
There's a really good show on FX on that. Have you guys seen that?
There are a lot of things that I shouldn't say.
There's a lot of things I want to say that's illegal.
All the time. It's in another country. I don't give a shit. What are they going to do? Government come on over here and try to arrest me? We'll show them what the Second Amendment's for.
No, I'm talking about the American government. But there are things I'm just not gonna.
But
I would argue the fact that we don't have a 2-party government here, anyways.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's the uniparty.
Two sides of the same coin.
So let's get into the last topic, which is Rob's penis.
All right, and we're done.
And we're out. See you later. Bye. I'm hitting end stream right now.
So last week, I'll lead up with this story. So I think it was last week or the week before, Rob had some kidney stones, and he's like, he was so happy he passed them. And this morning, I got an image, and you get the notifications, and I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. I fucking go in there. And, I see this dark black stone. And I guess was this the most painful kidney stone you had to pass out of all of them?
No. The very first one I showed you, that one was 11 millimeters is the first one. This one was only 5 millimeters.
Is this penis size?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, the good news we finally have evidence that Rob has stones. So
That,
Did
that first one was nasty because it was jagged and shit.
This one was
Did you
no.
see
The second one's nasty. So Rob,
can't even
last
imagine.
night, last night I was just like, oh, what the fuck is going on? I had thought George was small. I named him George.
My dog is offended by that, by the way. You named
Sorry, I named him
same name as
George.
a kidney stone?
So yeah, last night I was like, right after we got off of doing the tune, I was like, my fucking side was killing me, my stomach was killing me. I was like, shit. I thought I had passed it, and I didn't, and I ended up in the hospital last night, and I was fucking. All I know is I was laying. What?
No, go ahead.
Nah, it sucks.
I drove myself to the fucking hospital. I thought I was gonna fucking die, and the nurse comes in and she goes, they're taking all the information down. And she says, "Are you now suicidal, or have you had suicidal thoughts?" I said, "Yep, right now."
Right.
They'll fucking Baker Act
didn't
you.
know
You
what
keep fucking around.
Yeah, he's fucking around with
She
it.
didn't know what the fucking saying. I was like, "Listen,
Also
I'm
homicidal.
joking." Yeah, no. I was like, "Listen, I'm joking. She goes, "Oh no, I got it," because she just kind of like looked at me with like this dour look on her face. I was like, "No, listen, just." So they gave me like Toradol, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not fucking working." And she goes, "All right, we're gonna get you some pain meds." And I'm rolling over my side. A wave of pain comes, and she shoots me up. And I was like, "Oh, all right. What'd you give me?" She goes, "Fentanyl." I was like, "What?"
Shit, they tried to fucking George.
I was
Floyd you
like,
at the
"What the
hospital,
fuck
dude.
did you?" I looked at her and I said, "What the fuck did you just put in me?" And she goes, "Don't worry about it. You'll be fine." And as soon as I went to go, "No, I'm not going to be fine," I was like, "No, I'm not going to be fine." I was like,
So I got a question, Rob.
I'd fuck me.
I got a question about
I
this
would
right here.
fuck me. I
just-
would absolutely
So,
fuck me.
like when I had kidney stones, I passed. I was in pain for like 5 days, and I ended up passing them without noticing. But like in your case, like you passed them yourself, and like I've always had this thing. Does it ping off the porcelain? Does it have like a nice ding?
No, because they give you these strainers that they want you to pee into.
But here's the thing about the strainer thing. I don't get the concept of. They tell me the same thing. I'm like, I just want to piss it out. Like I don't want to look at it.
No, they want you to send it out to see what you either have a calcium deficiency or calcium deficiency or a sodium deficiency. So if you don't have enough sodium, it'll calcify. If you have too, you know what I mean, in reverse. So they want to know
Besides, and this is a follow.
We're not making fucking pasta here. You know what I mean? Like I don't need the fucking trainer. Like just like this.
No, they want me to send it to the urologist. They want to
this
fucking
motherfucker out.
biopsy the fucking thing.
So here's another
fucking-
part.
But yes,
Call 'em
I would
old
assume that it would
tortellini
ding.
pants. Like
I would
There's a
assume that it would
difference.
ding.
There's a difference in what is that? What is this?
You're
How
on
did you get
iPhone.
balloons on your shit?
I don't know.
You just went like
I think
this?
that's the Mac. I think that's
You're
the
on an
Mac. that does
iPhone.
it.
Yeah. or
No,
Mac.
I'm not on an iPhone. I'm on a Mac. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not poor. I'm not poor.
Yeah, you're right, Buck.
Hey, but there is a difference between.
how
the
would you know,
stones-
motherfucker? You
Hey, there is a difference between the stones you passed last week and the stones you passed this week.
No.
Besides size, right? What's the difference between the stones you passed last week and this week?
I didn't pass it. That was the stone. It just had moved out of my urethra and back into my kidney.
Which
I had
makes
never passed it.
which makes my statistics so much worse. So this stone was black, right?
it came out of
Because
his heart.
usually the stones are like a white color or like yellow.
Yeah.
But this one was black,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. You should probably have that looked at.
So
Well, you know what
a
they
small
say.
percentage of the small percentage of the stones
13%, yeah.
13% of the stones passed in the United States, but
Calls-
100% of the stones you passed were violent, right?
Yeah. 13% of the stones passed in the United States cause 50% of the
Percent
pain.
of the cause 50% of the pain.
Well,
yeah.
and in Rob's case, 100% of the pain.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Not
we're
taking
gonna
the bait
fucking-
on that.
We need to charge that stone with a hate crime.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
let it burn a BLM banner. See what happens.
Oh, I got to tell you, listen. So
Why don't you try it for
right
real?
Right when they were releasing me last night, Buck calls me on the phone, right? And he is fucking giving it to the fucking nurse, man. Yeah, I honestly thought, I was like, wait a minute, did I marry this motherfucker? Because he's like, you know, did you do this? Did you do this? And the nurse is just looking at me like, who the fuck is on the goddamn phone? And Buck is just like giving her like 20 fucking questions. And I go out to the fucking truck. And he's like, bro, you're going to be all right. And he goes, you shouldn't be driving. I'm like, no, I'm fine. He goes, fuck that shit. I'm staying on the fucking phone with you. So he stayed on the phone with me the whole fucking ride home. But man, it was pretty fucking funny. He was giving the fucking nurse the fucking 9th degree last night.
The nurse gave
nurse
fucking Rob fentanyl, and all he wanted to do was be laid on the ground because he couldn't breathe. Fucking bullshit.
She should have given him just a like nice little shot of fucking oxygen.
All right.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna put her fucking knee on my neck last night.
I don't know if you guys want to continue going. I got
Chauvin?
surgery in 30 minutes, and I have a 15-minute.
No, we
drive.
got the Colonel Rob Maina show is at 2:30.
Okay.
You got surgery on what?
I got germ surgery. I'm taking this little, you know, that bump.
He's having
I don't
his
know if you
pie hole
guys
fixed.
noticed. I got like this bump on my cheek, so they're gonna fucking just pull it out.
Nice.
So, and with that said, any closing remarks from you guys? I'm not going to go individually. Just go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, I got nothing other than my shows today at 5:00, guys. So
Okay.
join me on the show.
All right.
Like I said, guys, go to 1776.shop, support the studio. You know, we have awesome gear there. And so my signs will probably be live if you guys are interested in a sign. The Critical Mass signs will be live, and hopefully I will have a shirt and a hat to preview on the Friday show.
Yes, sir. Amen to that. All right. And then make sure you follow us on X at Warboy Studios and click the post notification button at the top, ring that bell, and put it up for all posts. And thank you guys for joining us today. Guys, stay in the green room really quick.
Yeah.
After the intro.
Well, hey, I got a promo for tomorrow.
Oh, go.
Oh, fuck you.
I thought I asked and you stayed quiet.
No. So tomorrow's show at 7 p.m. on Warboys Network, Patty Don't Surf, will be about the characterization of Donald Trump by a lot of MAGA pastors as King David. We're going to go in through a lot of clips of people referring to Trump as the modern King David and how insane and blasphemous that is. And that's going to be tomorrow's subject. So
wait, hold on.
if you want to hear some insane shit.
I want to just like push back on that. Like comparing,
there's nothing to push back on. I've got clips.
There is. Yeah. So I should have been
Lots
part
of
of the show.
Yeah.
But like if they're comparing the stories, you know, is that bad?
Here we go.
If they're saying like they're David, if he's saying, oh, he's a reincarnation of David, yeah, that's blasphemy. But like,
yeah, it is, because
comparing...
as far I was raised Christian and I was not raised Hindu, so I don't believe in reincarnation and never did. But a lot of modern evangelical Trumpists, MAGA pastors, do believe in reincarnation, and they think that Donald Trump is King David.
And they've said that they.
Yeah, you're gonna.
I know thinks the reincarnation is like devil.
And by the way, this is I don't want to give too much away, but the first clip I'm going to play tomorrow is from a man who Roger Stone has recently described as his favorite preacher, Robin D. Bullock, in Alabama, who refers to him as God's King David, just straight up. That's a literal quote. He's God's King David. So I'm going to be playing that tomorrow, and I wonder how long Roger's going to keep supporting this guy, because this is just bananas.
And with that, we are gone.
Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend. She's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutors said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now.